Good morning, everyone. It's Yankee Wally here. I'm sorry I've been away, but I'm back now. Let's get on with the show. I've been saving so much stuff, thinking, oh, I've got to tell him about this. I've got to tell him about that. And here I am now with all this, and this is all a story that I could talk about for 10 minutes. Where am I starting from? Yeah, starting from February 2025. All that. I can't possibly do it, but what I want to show you first is something I saw today, really funny. Any of you, I'm not talking to the Brits, I'm talking to the Americans. Do you ever watch The Vicar of Dibley? It was a really funny, Dawn French was in it. A little snippet from that because I think you like it.
Person here knows of any just cause or impediment why these two should not be joined together in holy matrimony. Let them speak now. Further hold their peace. Yeah! I do. The groom is already married. He married me 3 years ago. And don't let him deny it. I've got the marriage certificate to prove it. Oh, sorry. Wrong church.
I love it. I do love it. I love The Vicar of Dibley. Right. Now, why did Meghan leave the Invictus Games? I think, myself, that she knew the Sussex squad had turned up and they'd plonked themselves. I think the one that most people are questioning, the one who was sat behind Harry, I think her name is Jo Diva Runner. I think that's her name. Of course, I go back a long time. I've known them since 2018. And she's a Klingon. She's even gone to, she went to, not Jamaica, one of the places that brought, was it the, it could have been Nigeria, if they went to Nigeria. I think she went there. She had her T-shirt on and she was sitting. They know the Sussex squad exists, Harry and Meghan, and they know that not only have they caused damage and hurt to ordinary people like you and I, but they've also hurt the royal reporters and journalists and quite famous people. Of course, they had a pop at Tom Bower, because Tom Bower went to Whistler for the Invictus Games, and he was minding his own business, and they set on him like a pack of bloody wolves. Honest to God, they're bullies. And I don't have much to do with them these days because, well, I don't start anything. I don't go and look at their Sussex squad tweets, and I don't comment. Meghan Markle is, as Lady Colin Campbell says, a busted flush. She's on the way out. They said she was going to put her jam into, well, Netflix said they've got 2 Netflix stores. One is the King of Prussia and the other one's in Philadelphia. One is in Philadelphia and one's in Texas. Anyway, they're going to put a jam in it. Now, my question is this. Where's the strawberries coming from if she's making all this jam? She hasn't got a garden. That's why she had to use her next door neighbour's garden for that with Love Meghan cooking show. She hasn't got a vegetable garden or a strawberry plant garden. She hasn't got it. I'll give her a pass on the 50 jars of jam because, as I said in a previous video, you need a pound of sugar to a pound of fruit. And strawberries are pretty good at setting. They are good. And anything with apples. So if you ever want to, if it's a bit runny, you can boil it up again and put the peel of an apple in. Don't leave it in. Just put the peel of an apple in and then just hook it out before you jar the jam, and that'll give it the apple pectin that it needs to set. Or you can buy apple pectin. But you know what? With strawberry jam, it's just a piece of cake. Pound of jam, pound of sugar, fruit. Now, you don't have to be Einstein. Two ingredients. Make sure your jam jars are clean, sterilised, and, well, if she made those 50 pots, I'll say, yeah, okay, she made them. But she's going to have to do some serious jam making to be able to put jam into 2 stores, and the transportation costs, because she's making it in Montecito, surely. Anyway, she can't use that American Riviera orchards. Apparently, she can, but so can everybody else. That's why she hasn't changed it, because anybody can use American Riviera Orchard, which is a terrible name anyway. I think that any name that's too long and too fancy is not where it's at these days. You got to go. Apparently, Gwyneth Paltrow said the most attractive is something with 2 O's in it. Looks like 2 big googly eyes. That's why she had Goop. So Meghan Markle could do Poof. Poof. I don't know. But anyway, she has chosen another one. And it's As Ever. So it's As Ever. A-S blank E-V-E-R. And of course, her show, which is dropping on Netflix next month, is As Ever. No, With Love, Meghan. Now, I know a bit about this, and I've even written it down. Hold on a second, let me get it. I know I can do a much better show at delivering what you want if I use a piece of paper and a pen. Incredible, isn't it? Right, I found somebody on YouTube that is pretty in the know when it comes to film studios and famous people. Right, Universal Studio has banned and blocked Meghan Markle. Sony, she's blacklisted and banned. Warner Brothers, I'm not sure. Paramount, she's safe because she's best friends with Tracy Robbins, whose husband is CEO. Netflix, she's in trouble with them. She's threatening legal action. They had some test shows of With Love, Meghan. 85% didn't like it, and 25 were unbiased. They took 1 hour and 7 minutes of footage out of Meghan's 6 episodes because it was her and Mindy Kaling in a posh car driving along and talking about men and what they find attractive in a man. And it was so bad that they took it out. Also, there was another part, it was going to be at the end, where she invited as many famous people as she could to come to her house. Well, it wasn't, it was her neighbour's house. And she was going to give them all cameo appearances, and they just come for a bit of a shindig. And that didn't go past the test screening. People thought it was pathetic. So they took that out. Now, Meghan went a bit mental. So when she went mental, she threatened them with legal action. And what's his name now? You know, the guy, Greg Peters. They had a big argument at Netflix. And they've banned Meghan Markle from any new test screening. They're not gonna do another trailer for it. They're just gonna bang it out. Re-editing. She got emotional over cutting out the ending because of the cameo of her friends. Who's TS? Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, she's threatening to sue Netflix. So they're going with that. And the test screening that they showed, because she said it was biased, they even let her select. So she selected the Sussex Squad to go to the test screening of As With Love, Meghan. And that was when they had an 85% people didn't like it. And 15% were, neither here nor there. So what she did, she started shouting at her fans. Listen now, I'm telling you, the woman really is now. I'm not even going to talk about her bad behaviour now. She's not well mentally. you've got to be pretty bloody stupid if everything keeps going wrong and your fans are dropping like flies, and every time you open your front door, you're going to lose another. Oh, and another thing, she had a contract with Carnival Cruises. She was going to do 10 adverts for them, could be 15, and she was going to be paid 10 million. That's why I got confused. Maybe it was 20 ads and 10 million. Yes, I think it was 20 ads, 10 million. And she started interfering in their advert, wanting to change things. And she was so obstreperous and she was so argumentative. And then she told them that she wanted 15 million and they pulled it. So she almost got a job for 10 million and she blew it. And that was an advert. She was also going to do something, she was going to have a walk-on role with some sort of creepy horror thing. She got dropped for that for some reason. I found all this out from a guy called Mike Zero, Mikazeroh, on YouTube. Honestly, he's just a wealth of information. And what I do now is every time I see him come on talking about Meghan, I get a pen and paper. So there you go. And so she went home and she decided then to make this. She can't stay away from Instagram now. Instagram is going to be her swan song, her Waterloo. This is going to kill her. It's because she can't help it. Give her a microphone. Give her something that she can, show off to the masses. And of course, when she hasn't got a microphone and she's stuck in Montecito, she won't be able to leave Instagram alone. Now, she's got 2 accounts on Instagram, not one. I'll show you now. Where is Instagram? Here we go. Oh, it's so funny. I watched a video today about this man, and he was 68. And he was training to go and climb up Everest. This was back in 2014. And he was walking and he was putting weights into a backpack and carrying that. He was walking across ladders because that's what you have to do when you cross the crevices and all this, And I thought, God, 68, same age as me. What a man. So I found him on Instagram. You can send one message. So I said, oh, I just watched your video on YouTube. I said, that's magnificent. You're fantastic. Well done. And all this, congratulated him. But I'd only watched half the video. And when I watched the second half, honest to God, he chickened out. He was definitely not going to climb. But as it happened, an avalanche came. So it saved face a little bit, But I don't think he was going to climb anyway. So that was a bit, I should have watched the rest of it, shouldn't I? Now, where am I? Excuse me. Where was I going to go then? Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yes, Meghan. No. Oh, I always get, deformed people on my... It's not that I'm not sympathetic. I'm really... This is the one. This is her main one, yeah? That's her main one. I'm following. It's called hate following. And this is the other one. Right? This is the one that she thinks she's keeping the other one as her professional one. Oh, she's got another one up now, look. Love Wins. And that was put up 8 hours ago. And you see that little dog? That's Guy. So how old would that picture be? Because Guy, sadly, died last October. Yeah. And is that America? I think it might be America because of that tree. But it could be Britain, couldn't it? And that is Guy, and Guy's been died now for 4 months. This. Honest to God, she's what my mother used to say, cack-handed. Everything's got hearts on it. Look at her now. Look. Right, now I want to show you something. She thinks that we don't know this one's her. Do you know, something's happening to her. She's being all lovey-dovey with Harry lately. Have you noticed? I think look. When did she put that up? 4 days ago. She's in every... That's the one she did when she got back. Always her, isn't it? Anyway, I want to show you this. Look at the size of those hands. Now, they're not Archie's because at the end of this little 15-second clip, you see Archie stood in the window, and I don't think that's Archie either. Those hands. When was Lilibet born? 2021? 2022, 23. She's 3. 3. Look at the size of those hands. And look at the way she's using a knife. The size of those hands. Look at the size of those hands. They're almost adult. She's 3. Of course, Meghan can't resist keeping herself in the frame. They look as though they're a bit messy anyway, but I don't believe that that's Lily. But somebody said, and I don't know who, she knows she knows you know it's not Lily, and she doesn't care. She's just using fake kids because they're hiding Archie and Lily until the price is right. So she doesn't care now if you call her out of it or not, because she's quite okay with the fact that she's not using her real kids. I don't know. Don't know if that's true or not. I've no idea. Anyway, guess whose child that is? That's one of them. He's had baby number 13 now. And her name is Ashley St. Clair or something. She used to be an OnlyFans girl. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. But this one she's a bit gobby. She don't shut up. And she went public with the fact that she's had Elon's baby 5 months ago. I think she wants more money than what he's giving her. Something's fallen apart in the relationship. I don't understand. And somebody was saying, why doesn't he use a condom? I don't think he has sex myself. I don't. I think he goes to sperm banks and gets it collected, or he stores it in his own fridge. I don't know. But I think that's how he does it. I think he uses like the Post, General Post or something. I honestly don't think he has a relationship with them. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Amber Heard over there in Spain, she's got 2 children now, wouldn't be surprised if Elon is the father of those. But like I said, I don't think he has relationships. I think he just has a membership for a IVF clinic. It's because if you look at his children, or most of them, they were born by IVF. And surrogates too. But at least he's open and honest about it. So I don't know how many of those children, and as far as a relationship is concerned, Ashley St. Clair is now living in a posh apartment in Manhattan with security and probably as much money as she's ever going to need. If she's got any wisdom, if she hasn't learned anything, she's only 26, very, very pretty, mind, she should learn to be thankful and shut up. You know, there's too much money going around. The kids are not bartering tools. They're not designed to get your income or keep your income. It's shocking, actually. You know, the reason she's bleating on X is probably because she wants more money or more attention or more of this or more of that. Well, bugger off. You should be grateful that you've got a child that's healthy. Man, she's got another child as well, so she's got 2 children now by different fathers. But I mean, let's be honest, with the second one, she has hit the jackpot. You've got to give that to her. But why has she got to go arguing? She's saying to Elon on X, I'd like to take this offline. I'd like to see you face to face to talk to you. Well, isn't that bloody embarrassing? Where's your pride, girl? Fancy going on a platform that your child's father owns to plead with him, to meet with you, to talk with you. And what's he got to gain? I mean, as a businessman, what has Elon got to gain by going to meet this fishwife? That's all she is a fishwife, because she obviously can't keep her trap shut. What's he got to gain by going to see her? He's only going to lose, whether it's time, money, patience, temper. He's going to lose something, because there's nothing to be gained by mollycoddling somebody that's obviously attention-seeking to the point that they're blasting it all over X. Shocking behaviour, if you ask me. That's not hers, though. I don't know who that little one is, but he does look like his father, doesn't he? Right, where was I now? Oh, there's so much here, and I do want to cover it up. Do you know, this isn't the first video I've done. I've been going through one of those confidence losses, I suppose you call it, where I make videos and I just don't put them up. And the trouble is now, here I am tonight, and I got to think about what I've already said in the other videos, because, oh no, I got to say it again now, haven't I? Oh, God, that's all right. Oh, what a mess, what a mess, what a mess. Now let me have a think. What do I want to see here? What's this? Oh, that was the... No, I don't need to show you that. Oh, yeah, Beyonce. I got no time for this girl, but if she won the best country and western, it's time for these bloody... What do they call them? Oscars, Emmys? Whatever it is she got for her singing. Oh, BAFTA? Oh, I don't even know. Whatever she got, it was unfair, because she's not a country and western singer. Anybody with half a brain and a cork eye knows that. But anyway, I'm so sick of them, P. Diddy and the dirty bastards, all of them. Right, let's talk about, wait there now. Let me find something now, I will. President Trump has cancelled US aid, you said, right? And the money that it was just leeching out of America, trillions and trillions. And this is some of the money that they were, you Americans were giving away. 1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces. 70k for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland. As you know, DEI is another word now for woke. They're just diversity, inclusion, an ethnic minority. I don't even know what it means, but if I see it, I avoid it. 47k for transgender opera in Colombia. 32k for a transgender comic book in Peru. It goes on and on. 45 million for scholarships in Burma. DEI scholarships, so woke. So that's, you know, LGBTQ and all that. Look at this. Oh, 2 million to encourage Guatemalan children to get transgender surgeries. Now, you know, this is the sort of... It was like a pot of gold for anybody in the world to go and dip into if their wants were compatible with woke, transgender, LGBT, anything like that, and they could have the money from America. So even though America, thank God, has stopped all the woke, and we are following suit, which is a good thing, and hopefully the rest of the world is now, because they're not going to have any money from America. You see, every cloud has a silver lining. Every cloud. And even though... And where was I? Sorry, I tell you what, I got a bit of a cough coming in, because, do you know, I don't think I've spoken to anybody, apart from Sybil from over the road. She wanted to know if I'd stolen a parcel off her doorstep. Not her doorstep, actually. She was with a blonde girl from somewhere else, and she'd lost a parcel, and the GPS came to my block of flats. I would never steal a parcel. I'd never steal anything. Unless I could rob a bank. Something big like that, you know. Nothing small. Not off people. But, so I said no, and that's all. But so I had a bit of a cough, so I went and took some cough medicine, and then I thought, no, now I better go and clean my teeth, because I always clean my teeth first thing in the morning, last thing at night. And have you ever tried putting toothpaste on a toothbrush in the dark? Try it. I use a manual toothbrush and then I use an electric one afterwards to go around and make sure the gums are all coming back into place. But I did it in the dark because I didn't want to wake the cat up. But anyway, I was asking myself, why in this world is there so much pushing, or was there so much pushing towards lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and surgery, and chemical castration, like I said, puberty blockers? Where does all of this come from? That's what I always ask myself. Because when I was a child, I'm sure there were a lot of people that were gay, but they kept it well hidden. And I don't think anybody suffered because of that. I don't think they would have been hung, drawn and quartered if they'd been found out. I can remember some people, like my grandmother, she used to say some things. She reckoned the girl over the road, there was a family called the Clay, and she reckoned that the oldest one, Patricia Clay, who had a baby out of wedlock, she reckoned that her father was the father of the baby. I can remember my grandmother saying that, and I couldn't. I used to live with my grandmother for quite a few years, and I can remember thinking, no, I got that wrong because that's her father, and things like that. But I'm sure that people that are gay were around, but they didn't make such a song and dance about it, did they? And they certainly wouldn't have asked to be identified as, I don't know, a woman. And then I found a thread on X, and let's see if it's here. Here we are. Something like this. The Soviet and the Nazi experiments proved that strong family bonds create networks of support and values that can resist state control. By weakening or redefining the family unit, they can mould citizens who view the state as their primary source of identity, morality, and security, effectively making them more obedient and willing to sacrifice for the regime. Or in modern day, it would be the government. They want to destroy identity and family values to control the people. And it made me think, you see, it just made me think, because there's got to be a reason. And I think that if anybody goes through, well, let's look at this now, this USAID. Hang on. They were given £2 million to encourage Guatemalan children. That was America putting money in a pot that anybody with transgender. This was all done by the Liberal Democrats. They wanted this woke society. Why? And then again, I say to myself, why do they let these illegal immigrants in? I mean, good God, we've had a shooting every day in UK this week. Well, Austria, Munich, Sweden, Ireland, 3. When there was one in Ireland where an illegal immigrant, shot an illegal immigrant. And I hate to say it, but I say every cloud. No, forgive me. I know, but having said that, we're usually the ones that are at the end of their guns or knives, It's happening in Cardiff and everything. And now when I think so, oh God, I would. But this is all weakening, destabilising the country itself, isn't it? Because we voted for Brexit. I voted for Brexit to stop the illegal immigrants. Did it stop them? Did it help? No. And we've had 3 prime ministers since, and none of them have done anything. We've got, at the moment now, we've got the equivalent of a Liberal Democrat in, Starmer. Oh, what a freak he is. He's a freak. He doesn't like Trump. But he made a little speech today because apparently they're going to pull all the money out of Ukraine. Let's be honest now. When Ukraine first happened, we were all shocked, weren't we? And we would have done anything to help. We took in, well, not me personally, but Britain took in homeless people from Ukraine, and so did Ireland, and so on. And anything to help, wearing the blue and yellow flag. But after 2 years, you think, this isn't going to stop, is it? Why isn't it going to stop? There's no solution. This is just stalemate now. Nothing big is happening, except the only big thing that's happening is that Ukrainians are dying. Whoever's in there fighting on behalf of Ukraine, whether it's Americans or British, they are dying, and the Russians are dying. What's the point? What's the point? So I think that Trump has got some idea now of divvying up the land with Putin, just divvying it up. You can have that, you can have that, and then putting a peacekeeping force in, which would be UK, but not USA, because USA are pulling out. So Starmer says, and do you remember the insults that he's thrown at President Trump? But anyway, tonight he makes a speech and he says, I'm going to Ukraine in the next couple of days, and then I'm going over to Washington to have a chat with Mr. Trump to see if we can sort something out. I thought, you deserve nothing, Starmer. You deserve nothing, not even the drippings off my nose. Nothing, because he's an evil man. He really is. He's one of these wokies. But it's interesting that the government, they are supposed to be civil servants working for you and working for me. They're not working for anybody but themselves. The best people to put into power, in my opinion, are people that either have enough money to live comfortably and they don't want money, or they're successful by themselves, or people that really don't give a damn about money, and people that really don't care. But having said that, at what point do people get their heads turned? I had my head turned in the parlour. I think I did. I wasn't as bad as some people, I know, but I suppose I was only there for the money because I wanted to put my daughter in a posh school. But I've grown out of that now. Totally grown out of that now. Don't care now. If somebody offered me £1 million to run a parlour for a week or a month, or to start a parlour up for somebody because I know how to do it, I wouldn't do it now. Because now I look at the bigger picture and I think, yeah, all right, all my girls were over 21, preferably over 30, but, at what point do you have to take responsibility for turning ordinary people into greedy little minxes? Because, the more money you have, the more you want, unless of course, you're at an age where you think, nah, it's health that matters more than money. And as long as you've got enough money to pay your bills and to buy the food that you eat, and you haven't got to worry about money, then you're rich, you're fine. But of course, like I said in the last video, which I didn't upload, they're going to cut our pensions now. And they gave us a Christmas bonus. I didn't tell you, did I? £10 Christmas bonus from the government. £10. That'll buy you a lot, won't it? But now they're talking about cutting, because part of my pension is made up of a disability allowance, and they're cutting that. So I'm going to lose some of my pension, but it's okay because I've still got enough. Anyway, that's what I think. I don't want to make a noise. There we are. It's a demoralisation campaign. If the government can convince the young boys that they're actually girls, then they ruin that generation whilst also demoralising the parents' generation. If they can destroy a son in front of his father, what can't they do? Whew. You know, it makes you think, doesn't it? And it makes me think, thank God I'm not young now, because my daughter's got 4 children. She's got 3 boys and a girl. And I think to myself, what would she do? Of course, I suppose I'd look at it different if it was my grandchild, but I still would not allow them to have puberty blockers or any sort of surgery or anything. Not until they were 21, 25 and old enough to know exactly what they were doing. Oh, I get it. But I do like reading, this is The Reddest Neck, that must be an American. Yeah, study demoralization, how it's used to control population. Demoralizing, that's just what's happening in Britain, actually. It's yeah, every time, not that I've spoken to anybody, but every time you start a conversation, it's usually about, I'm talking online, it's usually about the state of the country. And it used to be like that in America, you know, with your illegal immigrants coming in and some of them have got criminal records, raping and murdering. It's shocking. It's absolutely beyond the pale. And now, at least, I feel, and I'm Welsh, I know I haven't got a right to say, but I feel cautiously optimistic about our future now that Trump's in the driving seat. He's not perfect by any stretch, but he's the best of the bunch because he doesn't want any money. He's not going to do what Obama did and take all the bloody money out as ripping off and taking bribes. I mean, when Obama came into power, was he rich? No, he wasn't rich, and neither was Michelle. Look at their house they got now. And look at Hillary Clinton with her own foundation and all that jazz. They got it all. But that wasn't their salary. The salary that you get for being president isn't like a 12 million a week or something, is it? It's not like that. It's obviously a good amount, but to be able to come out of a job that you've had for 8 years and be able to buy pretty much a house the size of an Ireland is a bit rich and get security and a damn good pension for the rest of your life. Wow, that's some doing. Take some doing. Right, let's get back on board with this now. There we are. If you can disrupt a family as the core unit of society, you can easily replace the family with government, which people then become beholden to. This is... Get off, Catard. This is the same game they've been playing forever, a powerful destabiliser. Why do they want to destabilise the country's society? Why can't they just... Oh, take me back to the Second World War times. Even the Second World War was more glorious than this, wasn't it, really? I can remember my mother telling me about the Second World War. She had the time, well, not really the time of her life, obviously, but my grandmother kept pigs and other things, you know. So she always had plenty of bacon. Oh, and everyone loves bacon. And the American troops were down the road. So my mother always had stockings and my grandfather or my grandmother had cigarettes and tobacco. My uncle had tobacco. All sorts of little benefits that you get by having animals, you know, pigs. My cousin Gwilym was a pig farmer. He used to live just down the road from my grandmother. He died last year, and oh God, I didn't go to his funeral, and he's the last remaining family member. Gwilym was. He was my mother's first cousin. And it was because of my nephew. I got a nephew that I don't get on with, and it's not my fault. He threatens me. He says, "Oh, shut up, old lady, old woman," and all this jazz, you know. And I caught him stealing. My brother caught him stealing from him. He's just a bad egg, and he had a bit of a drug problem anyway. But I don't know why I got onto that subject, but anyway, he threatened me, so I didn't go to the funeral because I knew he'd be there and I didn't want to cause a scene. That made me really sad. Oh yeah, now this is the next one I've got to go on to. Oh, let me blow my nose. 1 sec now. I'm going to do Blake Lively now. God, what a mess that is. But before I do, have you listened to Candace Owens? Now, she's got a 6-part documentary, and I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm just asking you to either listen to the 6 episodes or believe me when I tell you that I've listened to the 6. See Bridget Macron there on the right? She's a man. She is a man. And when she met Emmanuel on the left, he was 14 and she was 39, but she was a man. Well, she had had a sex change. Emmanuel Macron's mother is the sort of woman that organises sex changes for people in France. She's very involved with the LGBT and all that. I don't know why so many people are into it. Do you think it's probably because secretly they've had the op? Am I missing that maybe 10% of the people who live around here in this old people's place, maybe they're all sex changers and I'm just missing it because because if nobody had told me about Brigitte Macron, I probably wouldn't have noticed. But let me take you into this is my YouTube channel, as you know. And then I want to look at my channel. Right, it says here, view channel. And then if you look here, you can look at all this. Playlists, right? And they're all public. I've done the Invictus. I've done an Invictus playlist. Oh, there's a big earthquake coming in Santorini, which is in the middle of the Mediterranean. I think if it comes, it'll be like Pompeii all over again. Oh, televangelists. That one there, that horrible Copeland. Yeah, he was talking in COVID. He says, oh, if you've got to stay in, don't forget your tithing. Oh, God. He wants you to come out, sick as you are, and drop 10% of your wages into his coffers so that he can buy another plane. Something wrong. There we are. Brigitte Macron is public, updated today. There's 9 videos. Becoming Brigitte. That's the one. Honestly, fascinating. It's fascinating. And Candace Owens got a webpage now, but I'm not paying to watch anything, so I won't be. But she said if you go on my webpage, you can watch the second half of tonight's episode, which was number 6, free of charge. I went on, and a website has crashed. That's the second time it's crashed now. Not that I look for it, but I know she said it crashed the other week. She's had legal letters from Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron, but not once have they approached the issues. She's asked them the question, where's your brother, Jean-Michel Trudeau? Because that's a brother that suddenly disappeared out of Brigitte's family. Brigitte's come into it and her brother's disappeared. It's just weird, But anyway, enough about that. Grooming gangs I got, Syria, Diddy, Everest. I got most things here. All sorts of stuff, and they're all public. British classic comedies and all stuff like that. But definitely have a listen about Becoming Brigitte. But if you want to take my word for it, you can. I'm not lying to you. Put it this way. I believe Candace. I haven't got any proof, and I don't think I'll ever have any proof unless Brigitte admits it to me, and I very much doubt she ever will admit it to anybody. But it's awful when you think that a president, is it? He's a president? No, Prime Minister? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron are living a shameful lie, and they shut down the newspapers, the Paris Match and all the newspapers and the televisions, and nobody's allowed. And the whistleblower, one of them has gone to live in Russia because she's safer there, and the other one is doing an interview with Candace about it. But it is true, because they are not fighting. They haven't threatened to sue Candace. They can't, because it's true. Anyway, that was the name of the company. USAID. It started in 1961, so it wasn't started by anyone that I would know. I don't know who was president in 1961. It's full of radical lunatics. It's a global censorship machine. They were putting all this money into this, and it was an international, more or less, pot of money for anybody to help themselves to. Good God. Right, let me see what I got here now. Oh yeah, we're going to go about Blake Lively, aren't we? Oh, look at this one now. This is Meghan now with, what's his name? Michael Bublé's wife, right? Watch you now. Oh, look at her laughing. Oh, I laugh so much I almost fall over. Right, watch this now. Watch her eye. See? Look at her eye. She's always looking for the camera. There we are. See? Watch now. Oh, she's such an actress. There was somebody else I wanted to show you then. I know what I wanted to show. Yeah. Do you remember this? Now, there's little guy in the front of the picture here. He's been died since last October. Now, that's her moon bump. And look at her face. Duper's delight, I think they call that. I mean, look at the shape. This is all wrong here. This is all wrong. She may get away with it around the bust area just about, but down near her crutch is all wrong. Oh, God. That is so wrong. Oh, yeah. Donald Trump said, I won't deport Harry from the US. I'll leave him alone. He got enough problems with his wife. She's terrible. That's one of the reasons why Meghan left Invictus. The second one was the Sussex Squad, like I said earlier. And the third one was Tom Bower getting pounced on by Joanne Deaver and all the other ones. Now, Blake Lively, let me tell you, they're going to go down the pan. This is purely, you see Harry here? He's crying. He's almost crying. Look at her. She's all over him like a limpet. That's why he was crying. He heard Chris Martin singing He Misses England. It's true, that is. Oh, listen to this now. An Albanian criminal dodging... He's an Albanian criminal and he's dodging deportation because of chicken nuggets. Apparently his son won't eat any other nuggets but British chicken nuggets. And believe it or not, according to the European Court of Human Rights, he's allowed to stay. A Pakistani paedophile, we can't kick him out because he's a father. This is the sort of thing they're getting away with in UK. And thanks to Europe even though we left the European Union, we still belong to the European Court of Human Rights. And that's a bit of a woke, all sorts of stuff is just wrong. It's unfair. And of course, when these illegal immigrants come in, let me show you what they give them in Ireland. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe your eyes. Here we go. Daily expense allowance. You get it. It's called, if you have applied for international protection, they'll give you a hotel and they'll give you, there's your form and they're telling you how to fill it in. Daily expenses allowance. Date you arrived. Your ID. Do you have sufficient financial resources to buy clothes? Well, what are they going to say? They're going to say yes or no. Dear, do you wish to apply for this payment? Yes. So they give them extra for clothes. Additional payments for clothing. And then details of your children. They're giving them child 2, 3 and 4. So you've got 4 kids that can fit on the form. Oh, God, their surname. If you cannot sign your name, mark an X and have it witnessed. There we are. €38.80 per week for adults and 29 for children. So if they've got 4 children, they could be 5 years old and they'll get £116 a week for the children and 38 for them. They're getting more money than the average person in UK. If this international protection is unable to provide you with accommodation, you'll get a temporary increase of €75 a week in your money. So instead of 38.80, you'll get 113. So they'll live on the street then, and that's when they go shooting each other or stabbing each other. How much do you get for housing a Ukrainian refugee? 800 a month. In Ireland, this is now. How much do refugees get a week? £49.18. Oh, God. And then they get housing and cash support, and they load the money onto an Aspen card each week. They're doing okay. They get a flat, a house, a hostel, or bed and breakfast. You can't choose where you live. It's unlikely that you'll get to live in London. It's quite awful, isn't it? It's quite awful. This is where an island is in a bit of a mess at the moment. There's been stabbings galore. There was this one bloke, where was he from? Syria. He went down the street and he knocked on the first door and he said, whoever answered the door, I was going to stab them in the neck. This bloke opened the door and he slashed him right across the neck. I think I got a picture of it. But the thing was, luckily, you call them box cutters in America. We call them Stanley knife. A Stanley knife is what we call them, but you call them box cutters. But you know what I'm saying. That luckily, the retractable blade is usually only about an inch long, isn't it? So, of course, he slashed him. And you could see, let me see if I've got it to show you, because the guy was an absolute hero. Because he showed his thing. The next thing you see, oh, here it is. I believe that at least one Irishman was injured in the accident. There's the scar, look. Right? And then look at this. Throat stitched up, attacker in custody, and beers on tap. Look at that. Fair play. Fair play. Good for him. But if it had been a proper knife, he wouldn't have been drinking that pint of beer there. Oh, look at that breakfast, eh? Oh, I love an egg like that, with the edges just a little bit crispy, like, oh, lovely, lovely. What's that there? It's on the 4th of March with Love, Megan. So, yeah, so she's got to pull her finger out, if you don't mind me saying. She's got to get, let's say 1,000 pots of jam for each place, 1,000 up to Philadelphia, and 1,000 into Dallas in Texas. 2,000 pots of jam transported across America, because she's got to. This is Megan's homemade jam. She's got to do it. She's going to call the jam. What did I say? With Love, Megan. As ever. She's going to call the jam As Ever. I tell you now, I'm beginning to feel, I don't know if I should say, I don't feel sorry for her, no. I'm beginning to think she needs to be sectioned. And what they got a name for it in America, where as long as two people will stand up and say, she's not all there in the head, they can take you in. The Baker Act, I think it is in America, isn't it? She needs to be bakered or sectioned. But she's saying there, look, Guy's snoring. So when did she make this video? That must have been before October, because Guy's been dead since October. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, yeah, Blake Lively. Oh, my God, do you know what they've done? The latest thing. She's dropped 3 letters. She's testing the water, 3 letters, and they're nasty letters saying that Justin Baldoni was doing terrible things to members of crew on the film. And they've redacted a lot of the stuff, but the letters were suddenly sent to all sorts of people that talk a lot about Blake Lively. I didn't get one, but and what's his name? If you want to see Perez Hilton, he talks about it. The letters are totally made up. They're throwing this at Justin and hoping it sticks, because Justin's got a very strong case. Very strong. Anyway, The one thing that I didn't like, that I was saying about in the last video, was she sent him a text and she was talking about, well, it was a roundabout, it was a saucy text, put it that way. And she was talking about something, and she said, but never with teeth. So you can get an idea of what I mean when I say that. And I thought, oh my God, who says that to people? That's wrong. This was her boss. This was the director of her film. She was sending these texts, and she's trying to say that he was trying it on with her. He never sent her a text saying never with teeth. It's a terrible thing to say. Terrible. I think that Justin was a perfect gentleman. I think he's not really my type. He's a bit too wimpy for me, but I don't think he was rude. But Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they're going to go. It's really funny because Ryan Reynolds, they say he's worth about 350 million. Shocking amounts of money. Shocking. And that she's worth about 30. Well, Justin's suing for 400 million. I wonder if he had, he must have known. I expect he'll take an IOU for the remaining 20. Don't think he's going to beat down their door for it. It's only a redistribution of wealth. That's all it is. And who knows, maybe Justin will get a big head. He'll get all egotistical and start doing something wrong, and somebody will sue him, and the money will go to somebody else, and the lawyers will get richer, and we just stand back and say, well, at least I feel better about my day. I'd rather be stuck here in my little flat in Cardiff than the stress of going through court, knowing that there's a very strong possibility that I could lose everything I've worked for. Ryan Reynolds is, I think he's got something wrong with him too. I think he's the word is used far too often, but I think he is a narcissist. He's very insecure in himself. His jokes are not that funny, and he's not that good looking. And I think that he's, how Scarlett Johansson married him, why? Alanis Morissette was also going out with him, and somebody else was pregnant by him before he met Alanis Morissette. Somebody famous. He's not my type. Is he yours? He's got a shifty look about him. He's got little eyes, and his forehead is really wide, really wide. But he may be funny in Deadpool because he's does a lot of. I've never watched it, so I don't know why I'm commenting. But he pushes the boundaries of what's funny. A bit like Ricky Gervais, I suppose, only in a comic sort of way, like Marvel comic. But that isn't how he is normally. I think normally he's a worrier looking for his next funny jibe. Blake Lively takes the joke too far. She can be quite ruthless and cruel. And between the pair of them, I think that they had designs, because they had quite a bit of money, to take over Hollywood. They wanted to take over Justin Baldoni's film. And then they would have had the other one, It Starts With Us, off Colleen Hoover. Now, she's a little snake, that one. Oh, she's a snake, she is. But of course, she's sticking with Blake Lively and Ryan because they're richer, probably. And she thinks she can see her future there. She's a writer. She can write a book. And she was quite willing to let Blake Lively take the part, despite the fact that Blake had not even read the book. And I believe, I read it somewhere, it may not be true though, because I've only read it once. They said that Blake Lively came with the job. Like Justin Baldoni had backing from Sony, as you know, and Sony picked Blake Lively, so it wasn't Justin's particular pick. I think she was a nightmare. I think she was an absolute nightmare, because she's got a husband that everyone thinks is so cool and funny, and she dresses. The only time she ever dresses good is on a red carpet or on when she's dressed up. Any other time, She's a mess. She wore a leather stripy skirt with a bloody houndstooth check hacking jacket. And in that film, I've only watched a few little excerpts. I'm not going to pay to watch that, although it is on YouTube for $4.99, but I'm not going to, no. But she was wearing the most ridiculous stuff. She looked like she got dressed in the dark in a charity shop bin. Honestly, terrible, terrible. But anyway, I'm Team Justin. Not that he's my type. He's a little bit simpy for me, but I spot a good one when I see it. I don't think he's got. But these 3 emails, I can't get a copy of them, but I can get you. Off his face, look. She was high as a kite at Invictus. She really was. Oh, guess who? You don't believe this? Oh yeah, go to Perez Hilton. I know he's a bit on the loud side, but in the background of him, you can see these 3 emails that have suddenly come from nowhere. They've been leaked. I don't think they've been leaked at all. I think Justin and Blake, no, not Justin, Ryan and Blake have deliberately planted them so that the public can see them. So when you see that everyone's saying, no, they're fake, I think they are fake. But anyway, there's a little fish and chip shop in Port Albert, C8 Dufferin Road. And guess who their customer was last week? Sir Anthony, Steve's Fish Bar. He always goes in there when he comes over to Wales. Look at that little fish shop. Tai Bach. Now, Tai Bach, that's a funny name for a fish shop. Do you know when you were young, I don't know if you knew, used to have a toilet in the back garden? Do you know what I mean? We used to have one, and they used to whitewash, my grandmother used to whitewash the inside of the walls. It was always, and have that hard toilet paper called Isol Medicated. But it used to be like made out of 4 wooden doors, really, but it's nice. That's called a Tai Bach. That's really a little toilet, little room it is. Oh, well, I suppose the chip shop is a little room. Bach is small, and Tai is room. Oh, well, so there he was, going in for his fish and chips. There, look. See? Ooh, good to see him in Port Albert. Apparently he lost his house in Pacific Palisades, and he must have used the time to come over to Wales. Good to see you, Anthony. Anyway, look at Megan's legs when she got off the plane. Look how swollen up they are. Her ankle. This is from Village Gossips. And that was when she was pregnant, isn't that? Yeah, when she was pregnant. See, there she is coming off the plane. Can you see her white? She's got like a... This is supposed to be Meghan's mole, I beg your pardon. Is this supposed to be Meghan Markle with those severely swollen ankles and feet getting off the plane? Isn't it interesting how Meghan never had any swelling when she was playing the role of a heavily pregnant woman? Nice one, Molly. And there it is. Look, that is swollen. She's getting old now. You've got to live according to your means, haven't you? There we are, look. So look at that for a headline. Sir Anthony Hogg. Oh, God. We're Welsh and we're terrible. There we go. Anyway, I've done my bit. I think I'm all right now. I think I haven't covered enough about Blake Lively. I'm far from finished about that. She's a nice looking girl, but excuse me for saying it, but she looks a bit common. Just a little bit common to me. I don't know why I say it, but I shouldn't be rude because I noticed that she really does support the World Wildlife Foundation, WWF, and I know this because she got 2 moles on her face. I'll see you soon. I will be back before too long. Cheerio.